Ready, ready. 50, plant. You ain't going nowhere. Slam, slam. Fight.
And to give this time to the tailback. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That second down play nets a -4.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Ready, 30 base. 6, not here. Hey, Foxtrot, Foxtrot. Check back, Mike 6, Mike 6. Let's go, D. Get it.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Herbert. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Love. And this is Cook with a grab. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Hey, hold on. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Check, nickel, nickel, nickel. Kill, kill, kill. Kill, get more echo. Zip it. Ready.
On 3rd and 2, Love. Man open, that's Damian Ratley. That's good for a 1st down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Undercrunch, undercrunch, undercrunch. Hopper, shoot, watch the shoot. Off. Yeah.
From the gun, Love. Got an open man, it's Ratley. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. It'll be a Saints 1st down on a pickup of 13. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll run on first down. Hines. Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Now it's Hines. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. This is Hines. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Brings up 3rd and goal. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Yup.
On 3rd down, it's Hines, and they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
And Lutz's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Last week in that wild card win, only 1 catch, and now he's got his first catch here, and it's good for a first down.
Here we go. 18 Gator. And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
Hatchet. Check.
Roll out now. Pilot 64, weak. Hey, Haywood.
They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. A good pickup of 6 there on first down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Yeah, the Saints signal for another timeout. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back.
Break. X3. 218. Chopper.
Hey, we got a seal. Check pass. Check 43.
Protein spill. Go, go. Ready.
2nd and 4. And Woods has it complete. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, and it's good for a first down as well. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Hey, Echo.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Mike 9, Mike 9.
Shoot.
Operating from the gun. Herbert under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
6-6, pull it high.
You got nothing today. You got
exit.
Back to throw. Herbert airing it out, looking for Ridley. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Herbert. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Here's Hines. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. They run with Hines. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down.
Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Here we go. Mike's 5'4". Mike's 5'4". Mike's 5'4". Bound to lose one.
From the gun, Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away.
Smith on the return. The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And you're under a minute to go in the half. A first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Back to throw. Herbert. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. After the sack, they'll come up now third and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. It'll be a gain of 17, but even with that, they'll be well short here for fourth down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on first and second down and needing long yardage to try and pick up a first down. And they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on fourth down. But guess what? It all started with what happened on first and second down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. First and 15 following the delay of game.
Whip. Where's it? Watch the whip. Come on. I got motion, man. Me. I got this.
Operating from the gun. Love. This pass complete to Higgins. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
It's now third down.
So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Ready, set. Hey, Delta. Chopper. Go.
To throw on second down. Herbert. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Hey, Charlie.
Throwing on first down. Herbert. Throwing right, and that's complete. First catch for him in these playoffs. He was held without one last week, but he's got a first down on that effort. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
60 on. 2 jet bombers. 2 jet bombers. Hey, shoot.
Second and 8 at the 45-yard line.
Mike 9.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins.
Here's second and 8. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
50.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Pilot, 64, weak. Hey, wahoo, hey.
Mike 9. Target.
Shoot.
Looking to throw. Herbert. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Lutz with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
On the ready.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And he'll give it here to his running back. That good for 22 and a first down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
At the 49-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now a handoff working right. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
8 read.
Let's go. Double tight, guys. Double tight.
On 3rd and 2, Herbert. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 38-yard line.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense, because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Alpha.
From the gun, Herbert. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Hey, high 7.
Hey, defense, let's go.
Get it.
Back to the air on second down. Herbert, and he gets this one to Ridley, complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 24-yard line. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Looking for Woods that time, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Now a second timeout called for by the defense. And that's going to leave him with just one timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back.
Here we go. 15 line. 15 line. 5.
Operating from the gun, Herbert. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Now a first carry for Daniel Pumphrey. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Watch twins.
Check Mike 45. Check Mike 45. Watch twins.
That's it. Defense wins check. Hey.
To throw on 3rd down. Love. He's going to let this one go deep. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for the Saints. 57 yards. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On 1st and 10. Love. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Love. Steps away to his left. And this is incomplete. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
On 3rd down, Love going to throw deep for the end. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And they'll be down just outside of the end zone at the 1-yard line. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him. And what I mean by that is what you said. 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation. And they took advantage of the young man right there.
Ready.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. From the gun, Herbert. And he's got the hook up here. It's Woods. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Herbert. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Hey, lock it.
Back to throw. Herbert airing it out, looking for Ridley. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Ronald Darby. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Escaping the pressure, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Devondre Campbell flies in to blow that play up. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5.
Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Watch that. Control. Hey, one set. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Push him back. Pull. Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Love. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Right there.
From the gun, Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Deidrin Senat with a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This is taken at the 18. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10.
At their own 30-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
He's crashing. He's checking crabs. Check 99. Check 99.
Hey, Foxtrot, Foxtrot, 5.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Looking to throw. Herbert. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
You draw quarters.
We gotta see it. We gotta see it. Come on. You better bring it. Check, 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 check.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Go, go.
Brings up 2nd and 15.
To throw on 2nd down. Herbert. He's going to let it fly. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The end result, 21 yards.
70, Indy, protein spill. Hey, orbit. Ready?
On 1st down, Herbert. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. On 4th down, Herbert. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And as a result, their playoff run may end right here. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's 1 timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Throwing on 1st down. Love. He sets to fire deep. It got his man complete. Well, one side moves on, and then, of course, there's the other side, and now they face what they don't want to face, and that's the offseason.
Think about the journey just getting to this game. Preseason, right? The OTAs and mini camps before that. Going through the regular season, fighting and scratching